Through this video, I would like to explain some major events that affected my dream and my dream jobs and how I am trying to achieve my dream. I am in grade 11 and I am one of the international students on the graduation plan. I am highly skilled in mathematical and physics area, and I am always eager to take on new challenges and learn new things. I am a dedicated and hardworking individual who is committed to achieving success in all my endeavors. I am excited to have the opportunity to share my life. First of all, I would like to go through major events that happened throughout my life. In 2005, I was born. At that time, my father was a resident neurosurgeon, and my mother was a fund manager of the LG Corporation. They both were necessary members to run the neurosurgery department in LG Group. Therefore, I had to grow up in my grandparents' house until my mom quit her job. Since I'm the eldest son in both my mother's and father's family, everyone in my family cared about me and treated me as if I were a king of the family. Although my mom quit her job and started looking after me, we frequently visited my grandparents' house. Therefore, I had strong relationships with my grandparents. When I was 4 years old, my father became professor surgeon. He could finally spend some time with me. We went to watch movies and museums together. Although he was a professor surgeon and I was watching movie with him in the theater. Since there wasn't many neurosurgeons in the hospital, he always had to go back to the hospital and do surgery when emergency patients came. Therefore, frequently, I had to wait in the operation room. I had a lot of chances to talk to the surgeons, and they always suggested me to become a surgeon since my father was a talented surgeon. Although I didn't know what surgeons did and what surgery was, I had a dream of becoming a surgeon. Then, in 2011, when I was 7 years old, for the first time in my life, I went to Boston. Since I was living in Korea then, I had to take 14 hours flight to get to Boston. 14 hours flight in a tiny economy seat was terrifying for my parents and my sister. However, I was different. I loved that 14 hours flight and I really enjoyed looking outside through the flight. After arriving, while I was in a long line waiting for the customs, I met a pilot who landed the plane I was in. And then, pilot with suit and all the paperwork about the math looked really cool to me. For the first time, I had a real dream of becoming a pilot. When I went to middle school and started taking actual exams that is related to my university, I realized that I cannot become either pilot or doctor. I realized that I was a dumb person. Although I tried my best, realistically what I could aim for was a computer science department in random university. For 3 years, I tried my best to change. My average sleep time was nearly 4 hours. For 3 years, without proper break, I studied and studied. However, nothing changed. At the point when I went to the high school, I already gave up all my dreams. In 2021, I went to the high school in Korea. Between those 3 years of high school, the quality of your entire life changes. In my first exam, out of entire school, I was in 23rd place. Although I could go to computer science department in random universities without a problem, I didn't want to become an average programmer without any specialty. I was depressed when I imagined my future. I was scared, frightened, and depressed. I just couldn't focus on anything. Every day, I argued with my parents. After a few months, my father told me to go to Canada. In the July of 2021, with no plan, I flew to Canada. Throughout the year, I could find peace, I could have hope, I could take some rest. My grade soared, and I could go to the computer science department in top universities such as UBC, University of Waterloo, and etc. After a year, I went back to Korea with hopes and dreams. It was the July of 2022, and my grandma passed away. Although one of the best cardiac surgeons in entire South Korea led the operation, there was no way to save her life. Even my grandfather, my dad, my uncle, my aunt were all doctors. They had nothing to do. The worst thing was that although my grandmother is dying right in front of my eyes, there was nothing for me to do except for praying God to help. Although we spent tons of money, there was no other ways but extending her lifetime for about 2 weeks with ECMO. After I have lost someone who mostly helped me to study and to become happy, I was depressed. But I thought, I must not be the only one who is in such situation. Maybe such situation might happen to the others as well. What should I do to help? And I came up with the solution. I I can actually develop the medical science and save patients' lives in the future. From then, I was determined to be a cardiac surgeon. I want to become a cardiac surgeon, not because they make lots of money, but because I will be able to actually save people's lives. Furthermore, I will be able to prevent such situation happened last year by enhancing the medical science. To become a cardiac surgeon, I first have to go to good universities. Top universities for health science are McMaster and UBC Science 1. To get into these universities, I first have to get high GPA. I am trying my best in every classes to get high marks. Furthermore, to enhance my resume and to earn leaderships, I have been leading clubs and projects such as Extreme Math Club, Thomas Haney Robotics Club, Eco Action Club, and Project Claw for Humanity. Also, I have been volunteering in Rich Meadows Hospital and working as an accountant in a non-profit organization called Sunshiners. Although I know that it'll take a long time and require a lot of effort to become a cardiac surgeon, I will never give up. Thanks for watching.